A shy and unassuming guy named Baby is actually a skilled driver for criminals. When the situation turns dangerous and his girlfriend is threatened, he fights to survive. Baby and his accomplices arrive in front of a bank in a red car, and while they enter the bank, Baby plays music on his iPod. When the police show up, Baby prepares for a getaway. After his accomplices run out of the bank with stolen goods, Baby performs impressive driving maneuvers to escape the pursuing police. Five police cars chase Baby, but he skillfully evades them. He weaves between two red cars on the highway, and a police chopper loses sight of him when he switches lanes on a bridge. They ditch the red car, change clothes and cars, and the lady drives them away. Baby enjoys a leisurely walk with his music and later brings coffee to his accomplices as they divide the money. One of them insults Baby, but their boss defends him, explaining that he's just slow. Doc praises Baby's driving skills, but Griff continues to criticize him. After dividing the money, Doc gives Baby a wad of cash and promises it's just one more job before he's finished. Baby goes home and stashes the cash in an underground compartment with more money, watched by his foster father, Joe. When Joe sees his son on the news for robbery, he questions Baby about the source of the money and warns him to leave that world. Later, Baby creates music from a recorded conversation out of boredom. Baby creates music from a recording of Doc's comment about the R word and adds it to his collection of tapes. He then listens to a tape labeled Mom, but decides against it, and instead heads out to Bo's Diner. He records a woman named Deborah singing a song with the word baby in it, and gets distracted by her friendly conversation. Meanwhile, his burner phone vibrates, and when Deborah asks what he does, he tells her he's a driver. Deborah expresses her desire to travel west in a car but cannot afford it, and Baby says he would like that too. The cook interrupts their conversation, and Baby tells Deborah she is beautiful before she leaves. Baby buys the record of the song Deborah was humming and dances to it at home. Joe approves of Deborah, but Doc interrupts their fun with news of a new job. Baby meets the new crew, Eddie, No-Nose, JD, and Bats, and they ask why he's always listening to music. Doc reveals that Baby has tinnitus from a childhood accident and that he's been driving since he was a child. Doc praises Baby for his past accomplishments, including stealing Doc's own car. The crew arrives at the target location and completes the job, but a suspicious man tries to stop them and even shoots at their car. Baby skillfully evades him, and they later encounter him on the highway, resulting in a crash. They steal another car in traffic, but JD realizes he left his shotgun behind. Baby and Doc switch cars and head to the rendezvous location, where Baby finds out that JD has been killed. Doc gives Baby the money he owes him and assigns him one last job: to dispose of JD's body. Baby revisits memories of his past, including his mother's performances, and then leaves the scene. He goes back to Bo's Diner and meets Deborah, who recognizes him as the son of a former employee. They bond over music, and Deborah sings for him. They hit it off and go to the laundromat to talk more. He tells Deborah about his tinnitus caused by the accident that killed his parents, and she shares her own sad story about caring for her late mother. They set up a date, and Baby is happy. He tells Joe he's done with Doc and gets a job as a pizza delivery driver. Baby and Deborah have a great date until Doc pays their bill and demands Baby's service for another job. Baby initially refuses, but Doc threatens him. Deborah senses a change in Baby's mood, but he can't tell her what's going on. They make plans for the next day. Doc picks up Baby, and they drive to the post office, where Doc instructs Baby to gather information about the place for their upcoming job. Baby takes Doc's nephew Sam with him to avoid suspicion, but Sam ends up giving him all the necessary information. After relaying the information to Doc, Baby calls Deborah and tells her he has to see Doc tonight.
I have to drive again. It's not what I want.
And what do you want?
To get out of here. You want it?
I'm in, baby.
They make plans to run away together and keep driving. At the job, Baby bonds with Buddy and Bats. Doc gives Baby a job to get information about the post office where the job is happening the next day. Baby takes his nephew Sam with him, and while Baby struggles to gather the necessary information, Sam gives him all the details needed. Baby relays the information to Doc and heads back home. where he calls Deborah and tells her he has to see Doc that night. Baby shows up for the job in a new car with Bats and Buddy. They head to the pickup location where they are met by a group of armed men. A shootout ensues and they manage to finish off the attackers, but Darlene is shot. Bats explains that he shot at the attackers because he realized they were actually cops. They head off in a different car, and on the highway, Bats wants to stop at Bo's Diner, but Baby refuses. The team arrives at Bo's Diner where Deborah is working. Baby tries to avoid going in, but Bats insists, causing tension. Bats figures out Buddy's past and confronts him. Baby denies knowing Deborah when asked by Bats and later slips her a note with plans to ditch Doc. When they return to Doc, he realizes that they didn't say the code word bananas and confronts them about it. After Doc calls off the job, Bat suggests they should drive into the storm, but Doc is concerned about who will fence the money since he shot the fence. Baby votes yes to continue the job, and Buddy questions his motives for driving. Bat finds Baby's recorder and accuses him of being a cop. But Baby explains that he likes to make music out of recordings.
There's a moment you catch a bullet.
They knock him out and retrieve his recordings, which they show to the entire crew when he wakes up. Doc wants an explanation from Baby, but he's only thinking about Joe. The crew hits the post office with Baby and Bats going around the back. While waiting, a woman approaches Baby and he shakes his head at her. She comes back with a police officer and Bats collapses the job. As they try to escape, Baby crashes into a truck, killing Bats. Cops swarm the area, and Buddy and Darling flee, leaving Baby to get arrested. Buddy and Darling join Baby in a run from the cops. Baby gets a change of clothes and tries to escape on foot, but is chased by the police. He steals a car and crashes into Buddy and Darling's truck. A shootout ensues, with Buddy shooting at everyone, including Baby. Baby takes the bag of money and runs off, stealing an old lady's car, but taking time to find the right song on the radio before driving off. He returns home to find Joe beaten up and the house in disarray, but manages to grab his money and calls Bo's Diner to let Deborah know he's coming. Baby rushes to the car and hotwires it. Then he and Deborah take off into the night. As they drive away, Baby tosses his wad of cash out of the window, leaving his criminal past behind. They drive towards the sunrise as the music plays, enjoying their freedom and the open road ahead. Baby and Deborah escape with the tapes and meet with Doc in a parking lot. Doc gives them money as he was in love with Deborah. As they leave, they are ambushed by 3 men and Doc gets shot. Buddy arrives in a cop car and runs over Doc before chasing Baby and Deborah in a head-to-head race. Baby manages to get the upper hand by shooting out Buddy's car tire and causing him to crash. They escape together in a different car. Baby manages to make Buddy crash into another car and then escapes with Deborah. Buddy drives around looking for them, but Baby shows up in a truck and drives into Buddy's car, pushing it over the railing. Buddy survives and shoots near Baby's ears, causing him intense pain. Deborah hits Buddy with a rod, and Baby manages to shoot him with a revolver, killing him. The next morning, Deborah is driving with Baby in the front seat. Baby wakes up to Deborah playing his mother's tape, but their happiness is short-lived as they encounter a police blockade on a bridge. Baby surrenders to the cops and is sent to prison with Deborah testifying in court. The judge sentences him to 25 years with parole eligibility after 5. In prison, he receives a letter from Deborah with pictures, expressing her love for him. The film fast-forwards, and it appears their dream of being together is finally coming true. The moral of the story is that love at first sight is the least believable part of it all. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a like to support the channel and see more videos like this.